September, 480 before the Common Era. The air over the Saronic Gulf is still and heavy. In the narrow Strait of Salamis, just a short distance from the smoldering ruins of Athens, nearly 370 Greek ships lie at anchor. They are outnumbered more than 2 to 1. Across the dark water waits the greatest naval armada the ancient world has ever assembled. More than 1,000 warships drawn from every corner of the Persian Empire. Phoenicians, Egyptians, Ionians, Cilicians, and more. On the slopes of Mount Aigaleos, King Xerxes, the self-styled King of Kings, sits upon a golden throne. He has come in person to watch the destruction of Greece. From his elevated position, he can see both fleets. He believes the end is near. 3 months earlier, this vast invasion had begun. Xerxes had bridged the Hellespont with boats and marched an enormous army into Europe. At the pass of Thermopylae, 300 Spartans under King Leonidas, together with several thousand allies, had held the Persian host for 3 days. Their sacrifice bought the rest of Greece precious time. Simultaneously, at Artemisia, the Greek fleet had fought a series of hard, inconclusive battles against the Persian navy in open water. There, the Greeks learned a costly lesson. In the open sea, the sheer numbers and superior speed of the Persian ships would eventually overwhelm them. When news of Thermopylae's fall reached the fleet, the Greeks withdrew south. Athens was evacuated. Women, children, and the elderly fled to Salamis, Aegina, and Troezen. The empty city was soon occupied and burned by the Persians. The sacred temples on the Acropolis went up in flames. Only a handful of stubborn defenders remained, and they were quickly overwhelmed. In the midst of this catastrophe, the oracle at Delphi had spoken of a wooden wall that would protect the Athenians. Many believed it referred to the old wooden fortifications around the Acropolis. Themistocles, the shrewd and ambitious Athenian leader, offered a different interpretation. The wooden wall, he insisted, was the fleet itself, the triremes that Athens had built in recent years, with the silver from the mines at Laurium. He persuaded his fellow citizens to place their trust in the ships. Now those same ships, along with the vessels of Sparta, Corinth, Aegina, Megara, and other allies, are gathered at Salamis. But unity is fragile. In the Greek camp, a heated council of war is underway. The Spartan admiral Eurybiades holds nominal command of the allied fleet, a political compromise chosen so that the other cities would not resent Athenian dominance. Many of the Peloponnesian commanders, especially Adimantus of Corinth, argue fiercely for immediate withdrawal. They want to sail south and take up position behind the fortifications being built across the Isthmus of Corinth. There, they believe, the land army can hold the Persians while the fleet protects the coast. Themistocles sees the fatal flaw in this plan. If the Greek ships abandon Salamis, the Persian navy will be free to land troops anywhere along the Peloponnesian coast, outflanking the Isthmus defenses. Worse, without the nearly 200 Athenian ships, by far the largest contingent, the remaining Greek fleet will be too weak to resist. The alliance itself may collapse. Themistocles makes his position clear. If the others insist on retreating, he will take the Athenian squadron and sail west to Italy, leaving the rest of Greece to face the Persians alone. The threat lands like a blow. Eurybiades, though reluctant, is forced to accept the logic. The Greeks will remain at Salamis and fight. The decision is made, but it is made under pressure and with deep distrust. Themistocles knows that simply staying is not enough. The Persians still hold the advantage of numbers and open water. He needs to force them into the narrow channel where their superior numbers will become a liability rather than a strength. He needs them to attack on his terms. That same night, while the Greek commanders are still arguing and the crews rest uneasily, Themistocles puts a daring plan into motion. He summons a trusted man named Sisinus. a slave who has long served in his household and who has educated his children. Sisinus is intelligent, reliable, and completely loyal. Themistocles gives him precise instructions and sends him across the dark water in a small boat toward the Persian fleet. The message Sisinus carries is carefully crafted. He is to present himself as a secret supporter of the Persian cause and claim that Themistocles himself wishes the great king to prevail. The Greek commanders, he is to say, are bitterly divided. The Peloponnesians are preparing to slip away under cover of darkness and abandon the Athenians. If Xerxes acts at once and seals both exits of the strait, the eastern channel and the western passage toward Megara, he can trap the entire Greek fleet and destroy it in a single decisive blow. It is a lie designed to play on Xerxes' greatest desires: a swift, complete victory and the chance to crush the Greeks while they are supposedly in disarray. Themistocles is betting that the Persian king will believe what he most wants to hear. As Sisinus disappears into the night, the Greek ships remain quiet at their moorings. The crews do not know what has been set in motion. On the opposite shore, Xerxes waits on his throne, confident that tomorrow will bring the end of Greek resistance. The trap is ready. The largest fleet on Earth is about to sail into it. Dawn is breaking over the Strait of Salamis, painting the dark waters with the first hints of gold and rose. King Xerxes has taken the bait completely. Convinced by the false message from Sisinus that the Greeks are divided and on the verge of fleeing, he has ordered his entire fleet into motion during the night. Despite a strong and prescient warning from one of his most capable commanders, Queen Artemisia of Halicarnassus, the King of Kings believes that total victory lies within his grasp. Artemisia, who had already proven her courage and wisdom in earlier engagements, spoke plainly. She urged the king not to risk a naval battle in the narrow straits. She warned that the confined waters would rob his fleet of its greatest advantages: speed, numbers, and room to maneuver. The Greek ships were heavier, their crews more experienced in close quarters fighting, and their formation would be far more effective here than in open water. She advised instead to advance by land toward the Peloponnese, or simply wait, allowing the fractious Greek alliance to fall apart on its own. But her counsel was overruled. Xerxes, eager for a decisive triumph, trusted the intelligence that confirmed what he most wanted to believe. Throughout the long, tense night, the vast Persian armada executed a complex and exhausting maneuver. Squadrons of Egyptian ships were dispatched to sail around the western side of Salamis and block the passage near Megara. The main body of the fleet, including the elite Phoenician and Ionian contingents, rowed carefully into the eastern channel. Additional vessels took up positions on both sides of the small island of Citalia, ready to intercept any Greeks attempting to escape or to support the main assault. By the early hours of the morning, both exits of the strait were sealed. From Xerxes' perspective, the Greeks were trapped like fish in a net. But this night-long vigilance came at a heavy price. The Persian rowers had remained at their benches for hours, alert and ready for a breakout that never materialized. Fatigue set in deeply. The massive fleet, packed tightly into the narrow channel, had little room to maneuver. What had been an overwhelming numerical superiority in open water was rapidly becoming a serious handicap in the confined space between Salamis and the Attic mainland. As the sun rises and illuminates the waters, the Greek commanders give the long-awaited signal. Themistocles and the Spartan admiral Eurybiades have positioned their fleet with masterful precision. On the left wing, the powerful Athenian contingent faces the Phoenicians. On the right, the Spartans and other Peloponnesian allies hold station. The Greeks form into two disciplined lines, their triremes steady and ready. The moment of truth has arrived, with a great cry that echoes across the strait, invoking the gods, their homeland, their families, and their freedom. The Greek fleet begins to row forward in perfect unison. Their bronze-sheathed rams cut through the water. From the hills above, Xerxes watches with growing anticipation, still expecting a swift and glorious Persian victory. He does not yet see what is unfolding in the channel below. The Persian ships, already tired and crowded, begin to lose formation as they try to meet the Greek advance. Oars clash and tangle. Larger vessels struggle to turn in the tight space. The Greeks strike with deadly precision. The first ramming blows land with devastating force. Timbers splinter, banks of oars are sheared away. What was intended as a crushing envelopment is turning into chaos. Persian ships collide with one another, unable to support their comrades. The disciplined Greek triremes dart between the gaps, exploiting every opening. From his throne on Mount Aigaleos, Xerxes can see the disaster beginning to unfold. His mighty fleet, the largest the world had ever seen, is being slowly dismantled in the very trap Themistocles had so brilliantly prepared. The Battle of Salamis has truly begun. And in these narrow waters, the tide of history is about to turn forever. The narrow waters of Salamis have become a battlefield of pure chaos. What began as a carefully ordered Persian advance has collapsed into confusion. Hundreds of ships are now packed so tightly that many can no longer move freely. Oars lock and snap. Hulls scrape against hulls. The once mighty armada of the great king is turning against itself. The Greek triremes, heavier and more solidly built, exploit every advantage of the confined space. Their bronze rams strike with devastating precision. A single well-aimed charge can shear away an entire bank of oars or punch a fatal hole below the waterline. Persian ships, unable to turn or retreat, are pushed back onto those following them. The sea begins to fill with shattered timber, floating debris, and men struggling in the water. On the left wing, the Athenians face the elite Phoenician squadrons, the best sailors in the Persian fleet. The fighting here is fierce and personal. One Athenian captain, Amenias of Pallene, drives his ship straight into the flagship of the Phoenician contingent. In the brutal clash that follows, Artemisia, brother of Xerxes, and one of the highest-ranking commanders of the entire Persian navy, is struck down and falls into the sea. Elsewhere in the melee, Queen Artemisia of Halicarnassus finds herself in mortal danger. An Athenian ship is bearing down hard upon her. Hemmed in by friendly vessels and with no clear path of escape, she makes a desperate decision. She turns her ship and rams a vessel from her own side. A Calindian ship commanded by Themistocles. The friendly ship sinks. The pursuing Athenian, believing he has just witnessed an enemy destroy another enemy, breaks off the chase. From his throne high on the hillside, Xerxes watches the scene unfold. When attendants point out Artemisia's bold action, mistaking the sunk ship for a Greek vessel, the king is said to have remarked bitterly, "My men have become women, and my women, men." The Persian formation continues to unravel. Ships that try to withdraw find their path blocked by their own comrades. Those that press forward are met by disciplined Greek lines that refuse to break. The superior numbers that once promised easy victory now only add to the disorder. Every attempt to regroup creates more collisions. Greek marines and hoplites board disabled Persian vessels where they can. Others use broken oars and spars as weapons against men struggling in the water. The small island of Psytalia, which Xerxes had garrisoned with his best troops to finish off any Greek survivors, is itself overrun. Greek forces land, overwhelm the Persian detachment, and slaughter them to the last man. Hour after hour, the battle grinds on. The sun climbs higher. The sea, once a deep blue, is now littered with wreckage as far as the eye can see. The cries of the wounded and the dying mix with the crash of timber and the rhythmic beat of Greek oars still driving forward. By midday, it is clear that the Persian fleet is broken. What remains of it begins a disordered retreat toward Phaleron. The Greeks pursue relentlessly, capturing some ships and sinking others. The largest naval force the ancient world had ever assembled has been shattered in a single day, not by greater numbers, but by superior strategy, discipline, and the deadly trap of the narrow straits. From his elevated throne, Xerxes can no longer deny the scale of the disaster. The trap that Themistocles so carefully prepared has closed completely. The naval power of the Persian Empire lies in ruins, and the path to conquering Greece has been closed forever. As the sun begins to sink over the Strait of Salamis, the full scale of the disaster becomes clear. The once mighty Persian fleet is in full retreat. Ships that still float struggle back toward the Bay of Phaleron, many of them damaged, their crews exhausted and demoralized. Behind them, the narrow waters are choked with wreckage, shattered hulls, broken oars, and the bodies of the fallen. Greek losses are remarkably light. Of the roughly 370 ships that began the battle, only about 40 are lost. Persian losses are far heavier. Between 200 and 300 ships are sunk or captured. Thousands of men drown, for many of the Persian and allied sailors cannot swim. The sea itself has become their enemy. From his throne on the slopes of Mount Aigaleos, King Xerxes watches the remnants of his armada limp away. The golden vision of easy conquest has vanished. The largest fleet the ancient world had ever assembled has been broken in a single day. His naval supremacy, the key to supplying his enormous land army and outflanking Greek defenses, is gone. That night, the Persian High Command is forced to confront a harsh new reality. Without control of the sea, the vast army cannot be sustained indefinitely in Europe. Supply lines across the Aegean are now vulnerable. The Greek fleet, though smaller, remains intact and aggressive. Xerxes makes his decision. He will withdraw the bulk of his forces back to Asia. A powerful contingent under his trusted general Mardonius will remain in Greece to continue the campaign the following year. The rest of the army, and what remains of the fleet, will begin the long retreat across the Hellespont. The Greeks, exhausted but victorious, do not immediately pursue the land army. They understand the magnitude of what they have achieved. For the first time, the seemingly unstoppable Persian war machine has been stopped. The wooden walls of the Athenian triremes have proven stronger than any stone fortress. In the days that follow, the strategic consequences become clear. The Persian threat to the Peloponnese is lifted. The Greek city-states, though still divided by old rivalries, have been given a second chance. Athens, though burned and empty, can begin to plan its return. The idea that a coalition of free cities can defeat the greatest empire on earth has been proven in blood and timber. Salamis is more than a naval victory. It is a turning point in the history of the Western world. Had the Persian fleet prevailed, the course of Greek civilization, and everything that grew from it, might have been irrevocably altered. Philosophy, democracy, drama, and science as we know them might never have flourished in the same way. Instead, the narrow strait between Salamis and the mainland became the place where the largest fleet on Earth was destroyed by a smaller, more disciplined force that chose the ground carefully and refused to break. The trap that Themistocles prepared had worked perfectly, and with it, the future of Greece and of the civilization that would one day shape the world was secured. The Battle of Salamis was over, but its echoes would last for centuries.